Welcome to the today's session MMPM005 Block 11 Service Quality. Today what we are going to cover managing services. So here introduction, regions for the different approach to service quality models, impact of technology and gaps model of service quality, benefits of service quality to the organization, measuring service quality, communicating with the customers about the service quality. Now, when we are going to talk regarding service quality, so quality is associated with the product, and that is the standardization given to the product. So every customers, when they are going to get the product, same level of satisfaction he is going to get. But in case of services, there are n number of variables are there which is affecting to the service quality. It may be either the service provider is maintaining at the different timing different things, or it may be the customers, the requirements are different, and also the same service provider, same customers, but the time will be different. So service, you are going to get the quality wise, the difference is there. It is also depending on the customer's mood, the time, the space, so everything. So many dimensions are there how to prove that a particular company can able to give a better service quality than the competitors. The rising importance of service quality is that it's proving to be a winning competitive strategy. So any organization, service organization who is providing better quality of services is always getting the competitive advantage in the market. And strategic issues, more companies are emphasizing on providing excellent service quality in order to have a distinctive competitive advantage over their competitors. Very often, if you are going to talk regarding the different hotels, if it is a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star hotels or 7-star hotels are there. So you will find on the basis of service standards, the price structure will be different. Even if also the educational institutions, hospitals. So this is purely based on the types of qualities what they are maintaining through two aspects. One is your technology, what they are providing, then the trained people, those who are giving the services to the customers. So they are plays a vital role regarding the services. And for the better quality of services, more charges can be taken for that one. So let us go and detail about that. So service quality as a perceived by the customers can be defined as the extent of discrepancy between customers' expectations or desire and their perception, as per the Jetmal, Parshuraman and Berry book, 1990. So what he has described, there is a discrepancy in the customers' expectations, because we cannot expect everybody has the same expectations from a particular kind of service. Let us say if I'm going to talk regarding a hotel room, so different customers has different expectations from the same room, what the things being provided, and some of the customers may give high reviews or high scores going to give in reviews, but some of the customers may not give high scores, and the medium scores may be given. The same services being provided. So this is what the customers' expectations differs, and their desires also differs. So on the basis of that also, their feedbacks they are going to give. Quality is whatever customers say it is, and the quality of a particular product or service, whatever the customer perceives is to be. So here the quality differs, that I can say that the first time I got the service, repeatedly I'm getting the same level of services. So I can say that perceives that the service quality is not changing. What I got last 2 years, 3 years, I'm getting the same service standard. So which was earlier a qualitative service, with the span of day changing. So we'll find the quality must be improved in the organizations. Quality in terms of technology, or quality in terms of also the people. Service quality is the delivery of excellent and superior service related to the customer's expectations. So always customers has gone through the different service organizations. So every times their levels are also going up. So their expectations are going up. So it is very much essential that the organizations, those who are providing the superior quality in services, they are rated higher than the companies, those who are giving this one, because as the customers' expectations are going up, because they have exposed towards the different kind of services. Quality of service as perceived by the customer is the result of comparison between the expectations of the customer and his real life experience. So what is your expectations and what is your real life expenses. That is the gap. Between that gap, if it is minimized, then we can say that the quality of service is good. If the gap is more, then we can say that quality is not good. So improvisation is essential. So for that reason, that on the basis of real life experiences what got by the customers, the service provider has to develop a better kind of services, so that it can able to meet the expectations of the customers, so that we can say that satisfaction can be possible. And if it is maintaining more than the customer's expectation, we can say customer delight can also be possible in certain service cases. Now, regions for the different approach to the service quality. So, services are predominantly intangible in nature. So, what we discussed already, that one of the concept, one of the characteristics of the service is that it is intangible. So, we can't touch it, we can feel it, and we can observe it, we can able to experience it. So, that's why it's a performance, acts, and experiences. It is not possible to have exact specification for them, and like physical objects, so we cannot say describe it that what should be like that. So product cases, we can say that the physical attributes, we can talk regarding that what can be changed, so that we will get a better product look wise or performance wise. But in service cases, it is quite difficult to express what kind of service you bought and what the services you are deriving or expecting from the customer, from the supplier or the service provider. The inseparability of production and consumption in services reflect the more active part required from the service provider as well as the consumer. So when we are going to see that as a customer, our expectations should be the service provider must be agile, he must be competitive, or she must be also accurate to provide the services, and smart enough to provide the services. So these are all the dimensions what we are going to expect from the service provider. So if the service provider is not going as per the expectations of the customer, so customers will be dissatisfied, or the dissatisfaction takes place, that will be transferred to person to person. Now, buyer-seller interactions in the services. In the case of goods, we will find that is production is there, then there is a storage, then it is available in the retail outlet or through the online medium, then the customer is purchasing. But storing is not possible in case of services, and services is also highly perishable item. So what it is going to happen? That production and consumption happening simultaneously, and this particular cases there is a service encounter. So customers directly approaching and getting these particular services. If you are going to talk regarding a patient is getting the service from the doctor, so directly doctor is giving service. It's not possible that doctor service can be provided by the nurse. So nurse service provided by the nurse, doctor service provided by doctors, like that. And service encounter must be there. That means that the service provider and the client must be facing to each other to get the service and give the service. So here, that's why we called it a service encounter, that is production and consumptions. That's the thing which is happening. Now, services are heterogeneous in nature. So we know it very well that services never be same. Is the three conditions are there where you will find that services cannot be same at all the time. Like you can say from producer to producer it differs. Like we can say that in the farm, hotels to hotels, the room, the services will be differ, and train to train, the services may be differ. Although there is a standardization, but you will find that there is a difference also. You are going to find flight to flight, the services you are going to find difference will be there. Educational institute to educational institute, you will find also the differences in services. It is only because of not only the tangible aspect but also intangible aspects. Both the cases you will find that the service qualities are different. So that's why we called it as a heterogeneity of the services. Second is that from customer to customer. Again, in customer cases, the expectations are different. Different customers have the different expectations from the organization. So as per their expectations, the which are the service provider providing the highest, they are more satisfied customers. If they are unable to provide that level, so they are not. Although the organization is a good organization, but it depends on the customer's expectations. Because they are unable to fulfill the customer's expectations, then we can say that it is unable to provide the customer satisfaction. And from day to day for the same producer also, you will find just like the parlors, then salons, then also classes. A teacher is taking everyday classes. The same teacher cannot also be the same standard of services. Same enjoyment pay students may not get also. If it's a hairdresser also, same type of hair cutting may not be possible. Might be some days good, some days bad. So this is day to day also, time to time we are going to find that there the difference between the services are there. So that is what we called it as a heterogeneity in the services. We may not get the homogeneous services, but in the case of product, we are not going to get the heterogeneous. It is always the homogeneous product. Now, based on what you have studied so far, here Jetmal has given that service quality is more difficult for the consumer to evaluate than goods quality. We know it very well that getting a service and talking regarding that one, if I'm going to say that both the doctors you have shown and how the difference is there. So you may talk regarding behavior, you may talk regarding on the basis of the medicine, on the basis of treatments, but it is quite difficult. But if I'm going to talk regarding two products, I'm going to show you and I'm going to say which is better and which is where you will get more benefit out of that. Then you can say very quickly than the services. Service quality evaluations are not made solely on the basis of outcome of the services, because is the service delivery process is also more important. How are they delivering? Like same kind of services, if I'm going to say that vaccinations given by two nurses may not be same, that the process is same, but you will not find the service delivery wise there is a difference. If you are evaluating both the outcomes are same, result will be same, but some of the cases it will be a painful, some of the cases it's not painful. So what way the nurses deliver these particular services? So this is also equally important, that not only the outcome plays a vital role for the decision that quality, but also the delivery process also given the quality of the services can be known. Service quality perceptions result from a comparison of consumer expectations with actual service. So every consumer has certain kind of expectations when they're entering the hotels or going to the banks or going to the institution. So there is a expectations of what kind of services they will get. If those expectations level and what the actual service levels is not matching, then customer will be dissatisfied. And if it is matching or nearer to that, then we can say that customer is satisfied. But again, also if you are going to get more than that what you have expected, then customer is denied, means you are over satisfied on that one. So that also describes that whether the quality of the services is good or bad. It depends. Now, service quality models, different behaviorist has given the models. So Grondros has given the first model. So let us go through this particular model to understand what way the service quality differentiate and what are the different dimensions taken by the Grondros to differentiate the service quality. So this model suggests that the quality of the service that is perceived by the customers has two dimensions. So he considered two dimensions. One is your technical and another is outcome. So that means, let us say if the medical services provided, if it is eye testing, so eye testing by the machines and eye testing by the doctor, so both the things plays a vital role to the qualitative service. If the machine is doing excellent things, so technical aspect wise is very great, and you got the all kind of testing through the technical components, so you are happy enough. But at the same time also outcome dimensions, out of that also result came that you came to know that what kind of disease it was, so that is also good. So these two have been termed as technical quality and functional quality. So technical quality refers to the outcomes of the interactions and with the service provider that the customer receives. So customer, when he is receiving the services from the machineries and other thing, or technical persons when they are going to give the services, that is being judged and can be, people are going to say the technical quality is there or not. Functional quality, how they are performing this particular cases. So Grandros has given, let us say one patient will be judged the service of the hospital not only on the basis of the cure element, that is technical, but also care element. So how you are cured, that is also important, and how many days you stayed there, how these people have treated you, like the doctors, the nurses, the other staffs. So this is also equally important to get the quality of the services. And one aspect is that you have cured from this particular doctor, from hospital. That's why you are going to thankful that they can able to solve your problem. Second aspect is that how they have treated, that is the behavioral aspect, that how they have treated you, the doctors, the nurses than other people. That also plays a vital role. So that is care element. So both the things can be good, then we can say that the service is a qualitative one. Now Grondrus perceived the service quality model and he has designed this particular model. So here the expected quality is from the customer side, and expected quality is related to the market communications, means what you got it through the advertisement, different services, or what is it present in the market you got through the different sources. Like one of the sources that is the advertisement, marketing communications. Second is that image, that particular service organization, what the image they already got in the local market or the national market or in the international market. That is the brand image of the services. Third is word of mouth, how people are talking about that particular kind of services. That is also plays a vital role. If the frequent people are talking about that particular hotel, that doctor plays a very vital role, that your expectations is very high from them. Customer needs, again also that expected quality is also you like something or you require something else than the what is it available if it is present with the present product. So that is also you are referring to. So these four factors plays a vital role for the expectations of a particular customers, and that is these four factors are also guiding the expected quality. At the same time also customer has also experience, that is the past experience. So that's why total perceived quality is also controlled by experience quality. So experience quality is coming from two things. One is your outcome technical quality. So outcome technical quality is what you have seen, you have gone there, you have experienced that particular kind of things, past experience with that particular kind of organization. So you know what is the outcome, technical outcome. Second is the process functional outcome. That is what way they have treated, what way they have given the services to you. So both the cases are creating the image. So you have a positive brand image towards a particular service organization. So that is creating a service quality. That means you are always a brand loyal to a particular services if you have experienced this kind of services earlier. But if you are first time going for any kind of services, that particular cases, these four things, the market communication, image, word of mouth, and customer needs plays a vital role. But if you have earlier having this particular knowledge or if you have experienced this kind of things from that organization, so that is experience quality. So both the things are creating the perceived quality. Both the things when joined together creating your total perceived quality. So your perception is based on that recent what the data or information you got about the service organization. Second is that this information you got from the different other sources and you have the previous past experience on that. So joining together, that is your total perceived quality you are going to get. That is developed by the Grondrus perceived service quality. Now gaps model for the service quality is there. That is mostly a Ratter method. So Ratter is that reliability, assurance, tangible, empathy, and responsive. So reliability, we are going to talk how reliable is that. So ability to perform the promised service, dependability and accurately. So we can say that you can depend on that particular services. Like somebody has made the commitment to give the services, like if you can take the example like the services available online and you have put that one and you can depend on that one. Let us say if it is a burger, if it is a pizza you order and you know it very well, they will deliver within 45 minutes. So you have this 100% surety that you are going to get this particular product in 45 minutes. So that's why what you will do whenever you will go for any kind of arrangements, any small functions you are going to conduct, you may rely on certain organizations where you are frequently taking the foods and injecting that particular time. So you can depend on that dependability. And accurately, they are also providing the rates will be very much fixed and that rate will not change also. And delivery also very nicely they will deliver. So all these things are remaining with you. That is your reliability. Second thing is it coming assurance. So employees knowledge and courtesy and their ability to inspire trust and confidence. So assurance means very often this kind of things plays a vital role when we are selecting a particular hospital. If the hospital cannot give the assurance, their employees cannot give the assurance that by doing these particular operations you will be completely cured, so nobody is going to do the operations and other things, or nobody is going to believe also that particular hospitals to take any particular kind of actions like operation, like to take a huge priced medicines like that. So that is the assurance given by the companies. Tangibles, so appearance of the physical facilities, equipments. If any organizations you are going to get the service, you are also equally evaluating that what kind of components or what kind of tangible items are present in that organization. The tangible items or tangible instruments or physical facilities that plays a vital role, that the quality of services will be better. So tangibleness is also another important factor by the customers to understand the quality of the services. Next is empathy, that is caring, individualizing, attention given to the customer. So the moment you have been to a bank, to the hospitals, to first you want to see that how these people are responding at the introductory stage. That means that you have gone first time to that particular hospital and you have seen how attentive the executives are to you for giving any kind of services. So that is being judged, and that is actually the empathy. So more is the frequently they will respond to this one. That means they will give the attention to you. Then you will be more happy to know that the quality of the service is better. And last one is the responsiveness, willingness to help customers and provide prompt services. That means when you are in trouble or any problem you have faced in the organization, so they might have also the instant solutions for that. So they will give and prompt act quickly for that particular thing. So any query it will come, so definitely they will solve it quickly also. So these kind of things we talk regarding responsiveness, and your waiting time also will be less because they are responding very fast. One by one the works they are doing and doing in a sequence. So waiting time is very less for that one. So we can say the responsiveness is great. So these are the 5 factors, the gap model. So if this particular gap will be minimized, then you will find the service quality of the organization will be better. Now let us go through the service quality gap model. So this is widely accepted models, and we have here 5 gaps. So what are the 5 gaps? That is related to 3 things are there. One is your word of mouth, second is personal needs, third is past experience. So word of mouth communication is that what people are talking about any specific organization or services. Second is that your requirements, what kind of services. So that's why you are going somewhere. Third is past experience, your previous experience regarding that one. So that is actually these 3 things are generating your customer expectations of the service quality. So what service quality you expect is based on what people are talking about the organization. Second, you require that one, and that facilities is only available that particular service organizations. Third is past experience regarding that particular things, and that is happening. Second is that perceived services. So perceived services is also based on that, that is service provider communications on the service quality. So perceived service is what the service you are getting from the service provider, and they are providing this particular service, and as per that you are going to see. So here 2 things are there, as I told. One is the service provider, second is the client is the customers here. So let us go through the first gap. Gap 1 is customer expectations of service quality and management expectation of customer expectations. So this is very often bigger organizations are always going to think about that, or bigger corporate houses are also going to think that what is the customer's expectations. The moment the customer will enter to the banks, the first thing is that he has to see the boards, what the boards are there, and he must be going to see that the crowd must not be there, or even if crowd is there, that is synchronized, means that is being for the different services they are engaged with that one. So space is available for sitting, space is available to take any kind of paper, space is available to interact at least 1 to 2 service persons. So these are the minimum expectations when a particular person is going to the banks. Second is that Thinking of that management of customers' expectations, the banks are also equally nowadays keeping more space for the customers. What was earlier, the space was not available for the customers. The moment you are entering the banks, very small space, so customers are very unhappy. As day by day, the number of customers in the bank has increased, so bank also equally going to think that they are providing chairs inside. Earlier, the chairs are also not there. Chairs, sofas, tables, then writing tables, dot pens, forms. So everything what expected by the customer is already available in their service station. So that is the advantages. Even if also you will ask any persons, they will educate you that where did you get this particular form and all this thing. Gap 2 is between standard specifying service to be delivered and management expectations. So standard specifying service to be delivered. So as for the expectations, now what you have done, you have designed your services. But the gap is that whether your standard, what you are specifying that the standard of services you are going to give and what you have expected, there is any gap by preparing this particular kind of services. If the gap is more, then again there is a dissatisfaction because you are unable to provide such kind of services what required by the customer. Third level of gap is what, that the standard specifying services to the delivered and actual service delivered. So there is a gap between what you thought of to give and what you are giving. That means during the delivery process, what way you are trying to do, that may not be same as what you have expected. So if the gap is more, again there is a quality deterioration and there is a gap. So which is also deteriorating the service standard, the service of that particular organization. Gap 4 is what, that actual service delivered, given, and service provider communications of service quality. So what the service provider communicate through the different medium to the customers, that is the expectations already taken by the customer. So that expectations and when you are providing finally delivering, if there is any gap between these particular two things, so automatically what will happen, that the customer will be very much unhappy that my expectations are unable to fulfill, because although you know what is the expectations of the customers, but you are unable to deliver it's for the expectations of the customers. So what is the gap 4? So this gap 1, gap 2, gap 3, gap 4 and gap 5. Gap 5 is that is customers expectations of service quality and perceived service. So what is your expectation and what is you perceive, what you get and what is your expectation. So both the things, if it is the gap is there, your perceived service is almost same as your expectations of service quality, then both the cases, then we can say the gap 5 is 0. So gap 5 is 0 is customer highly satisfied. But we not find that always the customer perceived services definitely will be lower than the expectations. So majority cases these kind of things are happening. If it is that is the condition, the customer will be dissatisfied. But if it is similar or same, then customers will be satisfied. So these 5 gaps plays a vital role, but the gap 1 is completely you are in a vague idea about the customers to design a particular kind of services. So by this process also 100% sure that you cannot make the exactly what the service required by the customer. Second is the gap 5. Gap 2, gap 3, gap 4 can also be controlled and can be also rectified. The company can take necessary actions to do that one. But in gap 1 and gap 5, it is quite difficult, because gap 1 is that the differences in opinion from the customer side, because his expectation is different and you are preparing the services are different. Then second is that gap 5, that is perceived service. Once you are getting the services from the different organization, what is your perceived service versus the company, what the expectation is from the company. So these particular gaps also plays a vital role. So people are not satisfied because of that also. Now the gap 1, it is described and the explanations being given now. Not knowing what customers expect. So that is, we all discussed already that the company is unable to know what is the customer's expect. It is also quite difficult to know that, but 60 to 70% cases that customers expectations can be known, but translating that one to the service delivery might be quite difficult. And this gap is the difference between customer expectations of services and company understanding of these expectations. So what extent the company can able to understand it properly. Gap 2 is not selecting the right service designs and standards. So here you will find also that a company might correctly perceive the customer's needs but may not set a specified performance standard. So this is selecting the right service design standards, and a company might correctly perceive the customer's needs but may not get a specified performance standard. So he considers these particular needs but unable to do that one. So this is also gap 2 cases that is possible. Gap 3 is not delivering the service standard. So it's for the service standard what's prescribed, so that service standard is unable to provide. So that is also very often happening. That sometimes it is not possible also service standard that to maintain or deliver as per the requirement of the customers. But sometimes, although they are delivering the as per the customer's expectations, they are unable to meet that. Gap 4 is not matching performance to the promise. So here, what you are performing, so it's for your promise, what you have made the promise to the customer, you are not performing as per the promise you have made to the customers, because there is a differences. That is hypothetical, what you have committed or promised to the customers, and what you are providing, that is actual. So that is the gap is also equally will find the gap. Now gap 5 cases, the final gap is expectations gap. That is, I told that one is your customer's expectation, and second is that the company perceives what is the customer's expectation. So both the things are, two persons are there. One is the service provider, second is the client. So what way the customer is interpreting, the supplier service provider may not interpret in the same way. So that's why there is a huge gap between what the customer expectations and what the service provided by the service provider, or the thing he thought that this is the kind of expectations from the customer side. Now causes of gap and strategy to reduce the gap. So causes is that gap one, for what are the causes? Lack of marketing research. So if you are not doing proper marketing research to know about, understand about the customer's need, so you cannot provide the right kind of services for the customer. Second is that inadequate upward communications. So you are unable to translate or transform this information from the management, that is lower level management, to the top level management. That upward communications is not possible properly, or you are unable to evaluate what the customers require and to send this information to the high level management or top level management. Too many levels of management. When too many levels of management, so every stages if you are going to give that this kind of service needed, when it will reach to the top level management, that is completely the concept being gone and something else may result. So that is the gaps, drawbacks in gap 1, or that causes that one. Strategies to reduce, how to reduce that, communicate with the customer. So what the customers requires, you try to communicate as per that we are designing this particular kind of services. Conduct marketing research. If it is not possible through the few customers, you intentionally do the marketing research by inviting the customers or go to the different locations of the customers, ask the questions and find out what kind of services they require and prepare this kind of services. Encourage upward communication. So rather than to send back this information, you try to verify that what kind of communication is there, how this communication is going to the top level management, or you are returning back, or you can able to communicate this one to the top level management through the other means. Now gap 2. Gap 2 is that inadequate management and commitment to the service quality. So although you know everything, but you are unable to prepare the right kind of services for that one. Perception of infeasibility. So although perception is there that it is not feasible to do that one as per the expectations of the customer. Absence of goal setting. So your goal may not be the right kind of solutions you will find for that one thing. Absence of goal setting. So you are unable to set goals properly to give the right kind of services to the customer. Absence of customer driven standards. So that customer driven standards you are unable to know by, although you have made the conducted the research work and collected the information, but still also the absence of customer driven standards are there. Resource constraint means you have limited resources, you do not have enough resources to give the right kind of services as the expectation is from the customer. Top management commitments, if they are going to commit that whatever the situations may be, we are ready to provide this one. Develop size quality goals. So here bigger is the size, so most of the cases the quality may be deteriorate. So that particular kind of things has to be rectified by saying that bigger size also lesser quality can be possible. Standardization of the task. So although we know that very well that the service cannot be standardized, but some extent up to 50 to 60% that's a standardization of the task can be possible, and we can do. Very often nowadays in the service cases, the software companies are trying to do mostly the standardization in the services in terms of materials or in terms of that's softwares available, and that particular by using this particular kind of softwares, this kind of things. Next is the gap 3, deficiencies in human resource policies. So human policies not developed properly in the organizations, that's why you are unable to deliver. Failure to match supply and demand. So the demand is more, so you are unable to give the services at the right time. Like we know it very well during COVID, a lot of problems came from the DTH services and internet services. The companies are unable to provide the right kind of services to all the customers because they are also equally busy in other cities. With the limited number of employees, they have suffered a lot. Then customers not fulfilling roles. So customers are not willing to do that, or if they will be more dissatisfied, may I be doing like this. So here more important thing is that go for the teamwork. So everybody has to do the work by not thinking about that I am preparing or I am the leader of that organization. So empowerment. So you empower the employees so that they will work for these organizations having high motivations. Role clarity. You just clear the role what they are going to do, otherwise they will be idle. Proper training should be given time to time so that better service can be provided. Synchronize demand and supply. As for the demand, the supply must be reaching or meeting to that particular demand. So that is also equally good. Communicating with the customer. So every time you try to inform that what kind of problem is it facing or what kind of services in operation has happened. So these information is also equally going to give to the customers. Next is over promising. So sometimes the companies are over promising, which became a boomerang for the companies. So never try to over promise to the customers that what you are delivering. Second is ineffective management of the customer's expectations. So your management is unable to satisfy the customer's expectations. So this kind of things should not be there. Inadequate horizontal communications. So here you are going to find that the communications everywhere you will find that is mostly horizontal communications. It will be that through the different medium you are going to show that one. Avoid propensity to overpromise. Increase horizontal communication, increase customers' expectations. So first is avoid propensity to overpromise. So more number of people are involved with the similar kind of activity, so propensity of the overpromise things must be reduced. Increase horizontal communication. So before doing any actions, there is a need for the horizontal communication is essential. Managing customers' expectations. As per the customers' expectations, you try to prepare or give the services as per their expectations. Now, impact of technology on gaps model of service quality. The impact of service provider gap one is the availability of Online communication channels enable service products to get from to know their customers better. So when you are trying to see that channels cases enable service provider to get the knowledge, know their customers, who are the customers in there in online communications. So so example can solicit feedback by informations about the products or services mostly you are going to give. Impact on the provider gap too. With the help of technology enabled online, highly standard and customized services can be provided. So that can also be given. Impact on provider gap three, that is customer participation in the service process. So here I told from the beginning that it's not like a product that once production will happen, that will be stored or inventoried. Whenever the customer requires, you can give it from your stall or from the go down, which is not possible in the case of services, because services the production and consumption will happen simultaneously. So here that service customer participation in the service process has been facilitated by technological advancements such as the use of artificial intelligence from the pre-purchase and to purchase post-purchase stages. The possibilities for the highly targeted communications have expanded with the advent of internet and online communications channels such as firms websites. So online and mobile advertising also you can do, that is to impact technology gaps can be reduced, or gaps can also be enhanced by this, by going through this particular thing. Impact of the customer gap high, that is self-service technologies have transformed the delivery process of many services. So people are trying to get the self-services that McDonald, then you are going to find that is Domino's. All these people have started with the self-service. People are going there and participating on that particular service process. So delivery process became better by this particular process. Now benefits of service quality to the organization. Companies offering superior service achieve higher than normal market share. So their superior services day by day, it is coming through the service quality, because everybody is competing in order to get the competitive advantages. So they have to maintain a better things to get a more market share. Mechanism by which quality influences profits include increased market share and premium prices. So if you are providing a better quality, there is a chance that you can charge also higher price. Like we know it very well that the parlors like you can say Habibs, or you can say regarding other people, that particular cases, the services quality is they're providing better, so that's why they can charge also premium. The hotels are also charging premiums. The hospitals also charging higher premium because of the tangible aspect and intangible aspects. Both the cases they have instruments, equipments, and the services providing. Business in the top quintile of relative service quality or average realize 8% higher price than their competition. So top quality is those who are providing the services, so they are charging at least 8% more than the average kind of service providers. The Hospital Corporation of America found a strong link between perceived quality of the patient care and profitability across the many hospitals. So, what way the quality perceived by the customers, so he is ready to pay that particular amount of money. So that's why, if a patient will feel that the quality is not good, he is not ready to pay more amount of money. For that reason, if you are providing superior quality in the services, definitely your expectations will be higher, and customer is also ready to pay higher pay for if it is better services going to get. Now, benefits of service quality to the organization: improved service quality increases favorable behavior intentions. So, Ford Motor Company has demonstrated that dealers with high service quality scores higher than the normal profit. So, if you are maintaining better service standard in the service organizations, or like vehicles you are providing the services, your service is better off. So that's why what you are going to do, that your service charges are more. That is also equally, we have seen that the market price is that as the price of the vehicle is more, the service charges also equally more. Positive and significant relation exists between the customer's perception and service quality. So what the customers are perceiving, and service quality what being provided to the customers. So this is most of the cases also willingness to recommend the company. So if the customer is getting better services from somewhere, so definitely is recommending, or word of mouth also more in that particular cases. Positive correlation exists between service quality and repurchase intention. So if the service quality is better, then repurchase intention will be more, or willingness will be more to purchase that kind of services. So that's why these are the positive relations, correlations with this one. Now, a model of service quality improvement and profitability. So here, through the quality, how profitability the organizations or the service organizations are going to get. So service organizations are trying to do two kind of marketing. One is a defensive marketing, second is the offensive marketing. Defensive marketing is that in order to protect their market share, or in order to protect their price structures, so they are defensive. And when they are going for the offensive market, say marketing means they are they want to charge more price, they want to capture more market share. For that reason, they are going for that. So what is that is the first thing is that the customer, the major focus is for the customer retention, how to keep the customers with you by providing superior quality of services. So defense mechanism in marketing cases will find costs. So what costs you are charging, and definitely you must be very much focused at this cost. Competitors, if they are charging, that also you have to verify very well, so that customer will not feel that he is paying more amount. Volumes of purchases, what quantity people are trying to purchase, do not want to lose that one. Otherwise, volume will be less, then margins also automatically it will be less, and you may not get also that amount of profit. The volume reduces. Next is the price premium, what the price structure you are going to charge. So that also you are going to see that the time will not come that to reduce this particular price structure what you are charging. Word of mouth, there must be people are going to talk about your brands, not negative, mostly positive about your brand. So these are all defensive marketing strategies which is keeping your margins constant. So you are not going to lose either the market share nor the margins of the product. Second is offensive. Although these things are available with you, but still, in order to capture more market, to generate more sales, or to generate more profit, so what you need to do, you have to go for the offensive marketing. So offensive marketing is you want to increase the market share. So what way you are trying to? You have to maintain the competitive advantage, or you are going for the cost advantages. By this, you want to increase the market share of your own. Reputation, so you want to build a better reputation. So brand building, you will go for by innovations or innovative features or value additions you will go for. Then price premium, so if more value additions, then you will go for also that price premium strategy also you can make. And also you can also segregate more number of services. Earlier limited number of services, now you are interested for the more number of services. Varieties of services you are going to provide. Ancillary services also nowadays being attached to that one. So that is going to increase your sales. That is the offensive marketing. So most of the hotel industries nowadays, they are going for the mass customization in their food pattern. Means as per the expectations of the customers, they are preparing the food. So everything, every types of foods are nowadays available. Whatever the customer wants, that is available. They can able to deliver. So that is why they are trying to play vital roles, that offensive marketing they are doing, so that customer may not leave the place or want to stay for more days because of the qualitative service. So here service quality improved by this process, profit is also going to increase because your sales is more, your margin is also equally more, and you are getting more profits. Now measuring service quality, that hard quality standards that you are going to measure. So here you are going to find hard qualities, your measures, process activities, outcomes you are going to do, and sub qualities and those typically gathered by speaking with customers. Better discussions with the customers. So is it in talk in the market that if the doctor can talk very well, 50% of the disease will be over by the talk of the doctor. So without the treatment is the hard qualities where you depend what way he is treating, but sub quality cases how he is delivering and saying that. Now, in order to know about the service quality, the instrument being used to measurement the service quality. So, original service quality instrument consists of 22 statements. So, quality dimensions wise for 4 questions on tangibles, 5 on reliability, 4 on responsiveness, 4 on assurance, and 5 on empathy. That I am going to show you in this particular slide. That what are the 22 statements being taken just immediately after that one. And that 22 statements actually deriving the service quality through these 5 dimensions. So expectations and perception statements include aspects like equipment, physical facilities. So these are the things by which we can able to say that your service standard is better or service quality is better. What equipment you are, then physical facilities you are giving, appearance of the employees when they are approaching, that is the point of contact. Okay, and we can call it is also moment of truth is also. So materials associated with the service like pamphlets and statements. So if you are providing that one materials and all these things, so tangible items associated, just like I can say that in banks, the checks, the books and other things, that is tangible items through which by which you can able to do your activities faster. So timely provision of the services as per the service requirements you can able to do, and your promises can be very fast to give that one. Expectations and perception statements include aspects like prompt services, again, willingness to help, employees' willingness to help, that when you are standing idle or something, somebody is going to ask, or may I help you, desk will be there. So busy to respond to the customer request. So responsiveness, how quickly you can able to do that. Behavior of the employees, instilling confidence, filling up safety in transactions, employee have knowledge to answer the question. So you must have the single door options that all the problems can be solved through that one. Like medical services, the receptions, the people those who are there, they can able to solve all kind of problems. So that is the assurance they can give, that all kind of problems can be known from a single doors, or inquiry table will be there where you can get your all kind of problem solutions. Individual attention to the customers. So how as a individual when I'm going to get the services, people are giving attention, understanding specific needs that as per my requirements they are providing. Very often we have seen also like in hospital day by day, that is wheelchairs are present, then sleeping arrangements are also there, sleeping beds are also available, stretcher are available to take these people from. So these are the very prompt services they are trying to do if the patient is coming, and that is by also if the patient is coming privately or coming by the ambulance, both the cases also the attention is very high. So that is also can be judged. So circular scale to determine company service quality along each 5 service quality dimensions. So these 5 factors what we discussed, that we are going to see very shortly, that question, how the questions look like. To find out the relative importance of the service quality. So what is this particular dimensions takes is going to talk about the service quality, what extent this can able to describe the service quality of any particular service organizations. To compute overall weighted circle score. So in order to calculate this is mostly Likert scale being used for that particular circular model. And on the basis of score, that is from starting from strongly disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, then strongly agree, that like these particular statements for each dimensions being given, and the total score being overall scores being weighted being judged. To track customers' expectations and perceptions over time. So what was the customer's expectations from the beginning and what is the perception over time? Like somebody stayed in a hospital and after 5 days, before 5 days, you just when he entered, you take the opinion in the questionnaire, and after just completion also you take the questionnaire and you see the gap between that. whether any changes, customers' perception being changed during that particular process. To compare a company's Servqual score against those of competitors, so one service organization to the next service organization, you can compare this particular score, and whose score is better, then you can say service quality is better in that particular organization. So these are the questions you can ask through by you can design this one and to ask this one in the market to get through the 5-point scale, and you can get the service standard. You can know about the different service organizations like reliability based on the 5 questions, responsiveness based on 4 questions, assurance based on the 4 questions, empathy based on the 5 questions, and tangibles based on the 4 questions. So those questions are like providing services as promised, dependability in handling customer service problems, performing services right the first time, providing services is for the promised time, maintaining error-free records. So these are all reliable sources. We can say that on the basis of this 5 statement, we can say. To study the responsiveness, keeping customers informed about when services will be performed. So informing nowadays also banks are giving the time durations that for the withdrawal of money or making a demand draft. So all these things services being already written in the store, that what's the time consumption for that. So customers will be ready for that time to stay there to get the service. Otherwise, he may go out to do some other work and return back. Prompt services to the customer, how promptly they can able to come, willingness to help customers, readiness to respond to customers' inquiry, what the problems are there. Employees who still confidence in the customers, making customers feel safe in their transactions. So assurance we are going to give that financial transactions you are going to give or anything. Employees who are consistently courteous, helping you very well. Employees who have knowledge to answer customer expected questions. So all the questions what asked by the customers can able to handle. Giving customers individual attentions. So you have to give more attention to that. Employees who deal with the customers in caring fashion, having customers' best interest at heart. So you know it very well that each individual customers you are going to give the things. So employees who understand the needs of their customers. So as an employee, you can understand that once you are going to put yourself in the customer's point, what your expectations and as per their expectations you can able to fulfill. Convenient business hours. So the hours what you have given for the services, that won't be convenience for the customers. What extent this is convenience? Tangibleness, that modern equipments you are using or usually appealing facilities you are using, that is looks very nice environment or physical environment is very nice. Employees who have neat professional appearance means the dress codes and other things are very nice. Visually appealing materials associated with the services, what the materials you are using for giving the services, that is quite good. And for that we can able to conduct the different kind of Servqual survey. One is your transactional survey, that in transactions you are going to do that surveys to do. Complaint solicitation analysis, that different complaints, what extent that is solicited, and analysis you are going to do. Mystery shopping, that you want to see that how people are treating. You can do that mystery shopping by going as a dummy customers to see that. Asking customers, so you may ask these particular services to frequently to the customers that how the services are there, whether you are getting the right kind of things or not. Intermediary research, then also you are conducting the research work to know what is the response of that one. Online reviews, this is very often happening in the market, that to take the opinion of the customers, that is plentifully available. Several service organizations, they are taking the opinions. Hotel industries also, they have their reviews, reports are there present in there. And discussions on the social media, so what the organization is, what kind of benefit is it providing. So social media through that Facebooks, then through the all other things, Instagrams, you can able to get this particular information. So these reviews plays a vital role to see and verify that whether the service providence is good or the quality of the service is good or not. And describing the selective service scope, its availability, timeless, stating how much service will cost, all these things you can explaining interrelationship between the service delivery and cost, explaining the customers the effect of any problems, ensuring that the customers are aware of the contributions, educating them that, or informing that earlier, providing adequate and readily accessible facilities. So instant services can be possible, or effective communications arrangement you can able to do for the services, determining the relationship between the service offered and the real needs of the customer, what they require, and you can able to maintain a good relationship with the customers for the future requirement. So this is all about what we discussed regarding the service quality. So every organizations today are focusing mostly on the service quality to get a better result and to create a better brand image in the market. Thank you.